Look at this. Just to give you an idea, with these steps, I put a little piece of cardboard because there's some bushes. I'll give you a little look at these steps here. Look, why they need to be fixed. Look at this. There you go, look. I'm just touching it. You see that? You see how the whole thing is moving? See that? I'm not even putting any pressure on here. Look at this. Look at my hand. It's moving like nothing. This is how it was. It's all broken and loose, and that's why it's being replaced. Okay? Also, you can see these other areas here where there's a brick just fell off. I'll put the cardboard on. The brick just fell off the end right there. Okay? You can see the whole railing is loose over here. The railing is loose on this side. See the railing moving? I'm moving the railing, aren't I? Yes. Okay, these stairs are not restorable. They need to be repaired. This is May 4th, 2010. I want to show you how easy these bricks come off over here. I took this brick before, and you can see it. Look how loose that is. See these bricks here? That's how loose it is. You see that? Come right off like nothing. You see? That's why it's got to come off. Just more proof that these can't be restored normally and has to be replaced. Okay? Over and out. Railings are off. Okay, just to show you how loose these steps were, this was the bottom step. Okay, there's my shoe. There's the bottom step. Look, I'm just going to wiggle this in a little bit. Now, put the camera over here. You can see the little tap. Look at that. Look at this. Little tap. Look at that whole step coming in. Like nothing. So, couple of whacks. Look at that. Look at this step coming with my hand. Look at that. See that? That's how loose those steps were. Just like that. Come off like nothing. Over and out. Okay, there's another problem. You see that water got down inside through the brick. And this is the mortar that's been here for a very long time. Probably, I don't know, 50, 60 years. But you can see this mortar here this was under the brick. And this mortar is wet. It's all wet. As you can see, it's all loose. It's all loose mortar. This was the crumbling and disintegration of a poor bond of years ago. They didn't have the proper bonding materials for the mortar, and this is why the brick comes loose, because of the poor bonding properties of the mortar. And this was all. This came with the brick just now. Look at that. This was under the brick. This is why it's loose. Look how easy that's coming off there. Okay, you see the moisture on my fingers. You can see my fingers are wet. That moisture sits under there. When moisture gets in there, that degrades the mortar through time. And you want to chisel the brick at the end so as you don't take off this course, accidentally bust this course off, and you come into the corner right here. You want to chisel here and here along instead of trying to break this whole piece off, which can possibly knock this course off too, like you can see I done down there. Oops, there. Oh, is my finger in the way? Okay, here we do it again. Oh, the phone. Hold on. Uh-oh. How many phones I got on me? Let's see who this is. Hello. Hold on. I got to show up the camera. I'm recording the how to take apart a brick stairway carefully without ruining it. Hold on. I'm going to shut the camera off now. Hold on. Okay, over and out. As you can see, I took off this course. Moist again. Very moist. A lot of moisture underneath. This causes a problem. Here I'll show you where I take this step here. Put this camera right. I'm going to hit this with a hammer over a little bit. And you can see Look at this. I just touched it with the hammer. Look at that. Little taps coming right off. The stairway is not going to last much longer. I mean, it probably lasts the way it is, but it just looks like crap. Yeah, and a secure stair. Okay, now I had to remove some of the mortar that was attached to the old brick here. I had to remove the mortar because I have to replace these. These were cracked off on the ends, on the corners. They were loose, so I had to remortar. I had to remortar some of these back in to a little tuck pointing here. And also, after I do that, when I put this layer of limestone here on top, I have to remove this line of grout here so it looks uniform and it doesn't have a difference in color, because there will be another about an inch thick, inch and a quarter of grout or a mortar underneath. So to get one complete color, I would need to remove all this here. Okay. Okay, see now, I just chiseled off that part of the step there, the tread, and I only needed to chisel back just enough. Some came off more than others because that's the way it is when you chisel it. But as you can see, as we go along here, I've just chiseled enough so the grout that's exposed will be even from the top of the brick to the bottom of the limestone. Well, on second thought, I had to remove more of this than just what I thought I was gonna. So, because it was very loose over here, obviously we can see why the disintegration of it, wet underneath still. This mortar, which looked like this, and I just hit it with the hammer a couple times, and we can see just by tapping it how loose that mortar is under there. See, you might have to take more away, because this was on a supporting brick behind the actual brick wall, so it didn't adhere as well. But if it's loose, it's best to remove it completely, because otherwise you won't get a good bond when you put your limestone down. And that's important, to get a good bond, and in this way you won't have water infiltration again in the future. Another thing, okay, is when you are removing this top layer of mortar from your brick, this tread is basically just a wall, and the wall has a support backing. And the water got down behind here, and we can see this is all wet, and this stuff came off pretty easy again, like I showed you before. However, be careful if you're going to chisel this away. Be careful to try to leave, if you could, some of it on top of here, on this actual brick wall, because this wall part of tread is actually being held together by this top mortar base. If it does get loose, don't worry, because you don't really have to remove it, because once you put that mortar back on, the limestone, that'll compress and tighten it all back down. And you might have to do a little tuck pointing later on to repair some things, just to tighten it up a little bit. But be careful not to pull this way, like this or something, that you'd break this wall apart, and then you'd have more problems. So the best thing is to carefully try to knock this out in the center here, sweep it out, and try to carefully remove that part there. Under here is just a basic brick, support brick. That's all that is, and which is basically attached to this wall. These walls obviously weren't tied into these bricks. Usually they use some ties. From what I'm seeing here, they didn't use any ties, because I haven't come across a tie yet, or seen if they might have used one. The problems would have been less severe if they used some ties.